Good evening and welcome once again to ANC NCTV. 17 days to go to elections to the 1st of November 2021. And of course, it is what it is. It's a mini Friday today, as many would call it. It's a Thursday evening, and we are back on your screen or your little screen, 7-inch if you're watching on your mobile phone or on your computer. And this is ANC NCTV. I'm Malikau, the man with the Midas touch, and we continue with measuring up municipalities just after this. We'll be right back. Welcome back. And you could be watching on Facebook or Twitter or whatever social media you prefer to watch this beautiful television station and the program Measuring Up Municipalities. Tonight, we are staying in within JTG, John Taolo district, and we are speaking to the mayor of Gamagara Municipality, Cde Edwin Hantise, who's joining me in the studio as we look at what has been happening in Gamagara for the past few years and what is it that is coming for you. Hantise, good evening and welcome.
Evening, sir, and also evening to the viewers.
Tuxedo.
No, thanks.
Now, Gamagara Municipality. I'm hearing good things about Gamagara Municipality. And when you hear good things about a municipality, it tells you one thing. Their finances are in control. You know, they're looking streamlined. Talk to us about your audits and finances at the municipality.
Thank you very much, sir. Let me just start by saying, I think we started a bit in a bad foot, especially with the 2017-18 financial year. We actually got a disclaimer, but as time goes on, we improved with the next one, 18-19. We go to a qualification, but with much or more issues. Then the next one of the 19-20, we actually again got the qualification, but with lesser issues of emphasis. And as a result of that, one can say that it's at least light in the tunnel to say that there is improvement. You can see, despite the challenges that you all know that are difficult in terms of the economy, in terms of COVID, but as a municipality, we have tried to show to especially our communities, that we should be prioritizing them and service delivery should be key.
Now, talk to us about housing, because that is very key. Security, dignity, what projects of housing were there when you embarked on in Gamagara?
Yeah, thank you then. With us then, we had the partnership from Cogstar with HDA. We've got two developments there. We've got your 5,700 new development that is there in Gamagara as we are speaking. And then that development is also part of integration. You see, Gamagara, let me say Katu in particular, have got a problem of, I think, your previous areas in terms of how we are being demarcated. So we are trying now to say as a municipality, let's integrate, let's bring our communities together. We can see your 5,700, it's just close to your mall and is actually integrating your communities. And also we've got your 1,265 new development that is happening also through that partnership of Cogstar and HDA. That one is from Mapoteng, but it's also interlinking with your 5,700 precisely to address the issues of spluma, your previously disadvantaged where people were now put according to your racial lines. So I think that program will really assist us as a municipality in bringing that gap between your blacks, if one is to mention it, and your whites, because we do find it sometimes here and there as a challenge in Katu.
Now, you're talking about Katu, and Katu is synonymous to mine. When somebody says Katu in the Northern Cape, we all think mine. What is your relationship with the mines within your municipality?
I will say that the relationship is sound because of we have got a lot of projects that we were assisted by our mining houses around us. We've got an understanding with Kumba, especially if one just need to say some of our infrastructure programs in terms of SLP responsibility have been funded by them. There are projects in Olifantshoek that they also came on board. And other mining houses like Kumani, there's also most of our infrastructure. Let me say, like your Olifantshoek portion. Olifantshoek is a town that is also a bit lacking behind when it comes to development. We were having a challenge there of water, and within the assistance of Kumani with their SLP, they managed to come on board. We built a reservoir of Sega megaliter water. We've got a old existing infrastructure that was also currently resealed. We've got the replacement of your asbestos pipes that has been also through PVC, and it's through those partnerships. There's also some few toilets, if one is to address it in that way, that have been also as a project from the Kumani side. They have also came on board. Even in the Bain, there's a sewer network that has been built, and currently also as we are speaking, it's also a portion where Kumani miners came on board in terms of SLP responsibilities. So other mining houses like your Afrimat, they are trying. They are just new kids on the block, but we've got an understanding, we've got a relationship. When it comes to even job opportunities, they will normally work through our office of the mayor, office of the LED, to make sure that that information goes to our people, especially our youth or our poorest of the poor, unemployed, so that they should be empowered then with that information.
You're talking about challenges of water in Olifantshoek, but that's not the only challenge that you had, isn't it? There was also a challenge of electricity.
Yes, your water challenge of Olifantshoek, as I've said, we have now addressed it because of there was problems of normally we only got the sole provider, that is Citibank. When Citibank have got challenge within their networks, then we will always suffer as a community there. So what we have done through the assistance of also a joint partnership again with Kumani and Afrimat, we have actually extracted 6 boreholes. We have made sure that those boreholes should be connected within the main network, so that at least when if there are challenges, then we know there's something. So that partnership has actually assisted us. Now the electricity one is just a matter of there's issues of capacity in terms of the substation. There, the problem is the town is now immensely growing. And based on that, you will also understand that most of the time when the community is growing or when the town is growing, there will be always issues of demand and supply. And so we have prioritized the project of Olifantshoek of electricity, so that come the next, even the incoming council, so that they should actually make sure that they deal with that problem. Because we did have a project, because previously Olifantshoek was having a problem just when wind was actually blowing, then people were without electricity. And as a result of that, we have upgraded it, but the capacity is not enough for, let me say, for new development as we are speaking, but it's stable.
Now, the district municipality, JTG, has a trust, which is called the John Towler Development Trust. Is there such a similar trust within Gamagara as a local municipality?
Yes. In our case, we worked also with GDF. There was Gamagara Development Forum, and we had also SIOC CDT. Now, SIOC has also came on board most of our projects also, as we are speaking now, in Olifantshoek and even in Deben and even in Babatas. There is an immense contribution that SIOC has made, so that we make sure that our communities should come on board, or they should be addressed, or have also having a better life for all, as we are seeing as the leading party then.
Mapoteng and Katu had a problem in terms of sewer blockage. What have you done about that problem?
The sewer blockage problem, we have also through our SLP of Kumani, we refurbished 16 pumps. The 14 pumps were from Katu area, and there were also 2 that was actually refurbished in Mapoteng. But the problem there is continuously happening, precisely because of, as I've said, it's a mining town there, and then most of your informal settlement is happening there in Katu. Like people are influxing in terms of the job opportunities, and then like just in our case, for an example, you've got on a normal residential site, you even find yourself in a situation where one site or just one household is now accommodating plus minus 10 to 15 or 20 shacks within one normal site. So that's as a result of the overburden of our infrastructure, and you always will have that problems. Also, the other problem that we are having there is also the one of cable theft, because of people are stealing cable, and it got reported, but most of the time it's ongoing. The police are actually trying their best, but it's a continuous thing. The other one is also the issues I've said. People are normally throwing objects within the system. And I think we need now still to go on an awareness campaign and actually making sure that our people must be made aware. So they should not throw any foreign object within the system, because that is the thing that is also causing these blockages constantly.
I'm not quite sure when you say foreign objects. Or
There
you,
is-
you just don't want to say what it is.
Yeah, there is.
The first time I heard this word foreign subject, I was very young, so I thought maybe these objects are not from the country.
Yeah, no, normally, if I was with one of our when we did a cleaning campaign there in the area, and then someone saw that object and he said, "You see, this area, you can see the guys are very busy.
They are active.
They're very active."
But would you think it's because I don't think the problem is only in Gamagara where you find blockage of sewage because of the public throwing foreign objects in it. But in your opinion, and it's purely your opinion, how do you think we have to solve and educate our public?
I think we, as I've said, we need to go on awareness campaigns, making sure maybe also having joint partnership with our schools. Because I think maybe if you can educate your learners, then they will also take that responsibility to educate the household, because it's actually a vicious circle that needs to be addressed. So I think if we start there in terms of our basics, we should be doing well. And also within our community meetings, continuously making sure that our community understand the usage of this infrastructure that they're actually having. That is very important, and that is key.
Well, you spoke to, very good point in terms of going to our schools and empowering young people and teaching young people about, looking after our infrastructure or building or our community. But what is it that you're actually doing as part of your youth empowerment?
What we are doing now from our side, also with the partnership of our mining houses, we normally have internships that is happening currently as we are speaking also. And at the same time, we've got bursaries that have been allocated to the youth, but it's in partnership with the mining houses. So what we can say, when there's also job opportunities or any empowerment, we make sure that information should be down filtered to them. They must get the information. We've got also mining houses that are advertising job opportunities on a portal. So based on this, your fourth industrial revolution, they are actually on board. So we just need to empower them more, making sure that they get the opportunities and utilize them optimally. So
Well, you're talking to young people in terms of empowering them more. How are we going to do that?
as I've said, you make sure that they get the opportunities of your bursaries, and also we take them. We've got also a project of portable skills, making sure that you through them after finishing matric. We know that it's not enough, but you make sure that through portable skills you give them. Also, at the same time, what the mining houses, they will normally say that they've got a skill problem. So we were saying as a municipality to say it's not correct to say the community does not have a skill. Now you have to transport people from elsewhere. It's rather to make sure that you empower them, you give them the necessary skill that we are talking about, so that when you need that special skill or specialized skill, then you will be able to absorb them within the system, and also at the same time employ them within the same minds that we are actually having. So that is one of our programs that we normally preach to our mining houses, to say, let's make sure we address the skills deficit that is there.
What a wonderful time it is for young people to grow. I remember when I was young, I come from the so-called Bantu education system. We had a subject which I never understood why we doing this, called handwork.
Same to me. I'm also part of that.
Mukaya. I never used to understand, why am I making a wooden spoon? For who? For what? So this is a wonderful time and opportunities that you guys are giving to our young people in terms of skill, because I never understood why I'm doing a subject called gardening at school.
From my side, when it was always that woodwork subject, we would want to dodge because it will be now your teacher will now want to lash you if you're you're saying, if your artwork is not good in that shape that they want. It was always a challenge to us.
And gardening, you plant spinach for who? And and thanks to municipalities like yourself, that you take young people out of matric and place them into learnerships and internships, so that they can learn skills, certain skills which are usable within the mind, which creates job opportunities for them. Wow. Now, a question came into my mind when you were talking about foreign objects that were, you find in the sewer, and I know there was a refuse removal problem. I don't know if it was in Olifantshoek, and maybe that is the reason why they were throwing foreign objects down the sewer. So I'm hoping that you're sorting out that problem, or you have sorted it out.
Yeah, no, thanks. That problem, we've got also just the challenge of fleet here and there, because of our fleet is a bit old. And at the same time, we had a problem of the supply of diesel, and people did not understood it correctly. And it was actually on social media saying that the municipality could not afford in terms of refuse removal. But it's actually sorted out as I'm speaking to you. The community there, I think they can attach to it to say, no, we did have the problem within the last 2 weeks, but now we can see now service delivery, especially the refuse issue, is being resolved.
So what is it that the municipality has done to make sure that these challenges of refuse removal, diesel and all those type of problems that you had are resolved permanently?
Yeah, what the supplier one of in terms of the diesel is just proper to make sure that you enter into contract with the service provider, have a 3 years contract to avoid these disturbances, because community will not want to hear about disturbances. They would want to hear or to see service delivery happening. So that is one of the things to have advertise, make sure that you follow procurement processes, and then you appoint a or a service provider for at least a period of 3 years. Then you've got the responsibility. That person should be catering for you, unlike now waiting for your contract to lapse maybe at the last moment. And also at the same time, we are still trying with the one of fleet to also soon go out and check, because we are supposed to have engagement with mining houses. Previously, they assisted with other challenges of, I remember we experienced sometime a problem of when there is a pipe burst happening, your guys would have now, your labor would have now to dig with a pick and shovel, and it was now very tedious and taking time. They could not finish on time, and the community always complaining. So through the assistance of the mining houses, they assisted us with TLBs, and now things are but in order. So what that one also a fleet, I think we should be going again, because we just got some outstanding discussions that we need to finish, so that they can come on board and see what is that they can do in terms of assisting the municipality.
Oh, well, or you can always use a donkey cart. Now, it sounds like this is a municipality that works. And it sounds like this is a municipality that if there's a challenge, they come up with a plan and a permanent plan, not just a plan to sort out a problem for a month. Now, you sound like a visionary person, somebody. I don't want to say a prophet, but you sound like somebody that has so much passion for his people. What are the future plans for Gamagara?
Yeah, what Kamahara, we are trying our best with the little resources that we are having. Like as I've said, your 5007 development that is happening there, it's precisely to make sure that we integrate and we move forward. And what the 1265 is actually addressing the backlog that is there with regard to the housing challenge that is in the area, especially in Mapoteng. In Olifanzuk, the plans that is happening currently, it's also there were asbestos houses there previously from apartheid then. But now, as with our partnership with SIOC, we have now, there's 80 houses that are currently under construction in Olifanzuk as I'm speaking. And also in Deben, there's 10 old houses that are also going to be demolished and built. So the other one, there is also some economic opportunities happening. There is like your industrial park that through the joint venture of Kumba, we are trying to empower the SMMEs there. And we've got also most, as I've said, with our relationship with the mining houses, and they are working with us so that we make sure that any opportunity that is happening in terms of, there's also intentions of coming up with a solar facility again or solar park, precisely because of the energy challenges that we know that we are faced with. So all these opportunities, we just need to finalize the details as to where will the location be, and at the same time, so that our community members would now have the opportunities to develop themselves and also get an opportunity to get something on the table, especially food and the youth that needs to be skilled. I think those are our new developments that we are prioritizing to make sure that these things are really taking place.
I love how diplomatic he is. The energy challenges that we have. Load shedding. How often do you guys get load shedding in Gamagara?
It has been happening. I think we're all affected with the normal one that has been through ESCOM, but we are trying as a municipality by all means not to have any challenges. I think the community can even be a testimony to that. They haven't panicked for the years. We made sure that after having some challenges, we made sure that those challenges should be addressed. And I think all of them, they can really say no. Ever since they haven't been a town panicking to say, are we going to have electricity? What is happening? Most of the time, we are trying to be on spot.
And I think it's a brilliant idea to have a solar park when things like the energy challenges happening, and you just go off the grid onto solar and people have electricity. I think it's a brilliant idea. And this is what Gamagara is bringing to you as the people of Gamagara. Some of these innovative ideas that you guys have. And it's only through this movement that you get such innovative ideas. I bet nobody else thought about it. So it's absolutely fantastic. So if I could give you now a few minutes to talk to your constituency, what is it that you would say? And you would, in terms of the elections coming up, in terms of them reconnecting again with you as a municipality, and as we are going to the elections, what advice would you give them?
Yeah, look, let's say it's important for our communities to work with the leadership. And they must make sure that they elect councillors that are responsible, councillors that are accessible to them. Because of normally, you will elect someone and tomorrow the person will just vanish and you can't get hold of the person. That is why within our manifesto, I think we emphasize that to say, elect someone that you know you can hold accountable. Make sure that you elect leadership that is responsible, so that when there are problems in the area, you always know where to go. You always, as a community, can go to the municipality, you find them there, including the leadership, the senior leadership. And as a community of Gamagara, they know that we haven't disappointed them. Yes, we haven't improved as they wish. There are improvement. What I'm trying to say is, you want an excellent service all over, not disruptions and everything. But we are trying with the little resources that we are having, and we will never disappoint our communities. We are saying they must give us another chance as the ANC and come up in numbers on the 1st of November. They must go out and vote for the ANC-led municipality of Gamagara, as we are currently leading that municipality. We understand some of the people will be saying, but there are some issues, as I've already said, but you can be a testimony to everything that I've been saying. It's a town that is growing. You can see what the responsibility that is there. You can see the accessibility of the leadership. You can see when there are challenges. We can see the rapid response team that have been actually established, so that when our communities have got problems, we make sure that our response time is very short. We go and address the problems of that the community encounter. By so doing, as the ANC, we will not disappoint you. Let's go out in numbers and make sure that on 3 ballot papers, we must vote on the word, on the PR, on the district one, we vote for the African National Congress. Gamagara, you won't be disappointed. You will not even regret for your vote, because you've got responsible leadership. Thank you very much.
I like what the president says. He says they will come to your doors wearing different colored T-shirts. And what do they say? Nyeh, nyeh, nyeh. But thank you so much for joining us today.
No, I think they know that we will not vanish. They will still find us there. There's good things that we are doing. And as I've said, all the community members, they can be a testimony to that.
I hear you're planning to build a beach there in Gamagara. I'm joking. I'm joking. But thank you so much for joining us today. And we really hope that you continue the great work that you've been doing in Gamagara and satisfy and service your people as you've been servicing your people, and look after that municipality.
Thank you very much, sir. That will be our key responsibility and nothing else. Thank you, then.
No wonder we love this movement, because this movement is the key to give us the 3 basic things that we need. First of all, housing, electricity, and water, and also create jobs. So let's go out on the 1st of November and vote ANC. Be sure you're early that day, because voting stations will be very early open, so that you become anxious to cast your vote on the right party, which is the African National Congress. One wonders how the world would have been if JFK was not assassinated, because he was one of the key people that preached democracy in deep slavery and deep segregation. He asked one question: ask not what America has done for you, or what have you done for America? And maybe we should ask ourselves that question in this country. How is it that I can help my government or my municipality do what they need to do? It's a partnership. The African National Congress, government, and myself. We need to join hands and build better communities together. Go out and vaccinate, so that you are healthy and protected somehow on the 1st of November. And take care. Good night.